Hey everybody, back with chess today. It's been a few days. We've had a few things going on the site, as I'm sure you know. And wow, did you watch yesterday's match? If you did not watch yesterday's match, I don't have to avoid spoiling it for you because it says the result right there. But it's hard to find a headline that would do the actual X's and O's and the excitement justice. Wesley So beat Anish Giri, so that's really the content that deserves our focus as far as the Chess Today show. If this is your first time tuning into the Chess Today show, whether you're joining us live on Twitch, chess.com TV, or on YouTube, this is a show where Danny logs into chess.com and goes through the day, checking out the latest and greatest chess news happening around the globe. Makes his moves in the daily chess games that he has going. Currently, I have 5 moves to make. That'll be done live on air with educational commentary. We solve the daily puzzle, and then we answer some fans' Q&A. If we have time, we do a feature where we play, we do one of our educational premium features and kind of talk about the benefits of it and have some fun with that, or maybe even play a blitz or bullet game. So that's what the Chess Today show is. That is the intro of what you're about to see. And real quick, I mean, this is one of the most fun matches I've ever been a part of. And you're literally looking at the guy who has hosted. I've hosted every single. How many matches have I hosted, actually? I mean, I've hosted every single from the history of the Blitz Deathmatch archives, which is what? Blitz Deathmatch on chess.com. We have the rules, and then we have the historical archive. So we have played. How many matches? 37. There were 37 Blitz Death matches. I think I hosted every single one but one where there was a family emergency, and I think Irina Krush and Simon Williams hosted for me. But other than that, so 36, and then we had the Grandmaster Blitz battle. So this is the historical archive for just the death matches. And then we had the GM Blitz Battles Archive, chess.com. Is that going to bring up some? Yeah, here we go. So how many of those were there? There were 8 of those, right? Battle 5, Battle 7. No, so there were 7 of those. And now we have the Speed Chess Championship. And anyway, the point, I was just curious. I wasn't trying to be like, oh, how many were there? And I actually know the answer. I actually didn't know. I mean, so we've had about 45 matches total now with the 3 Speed Chess matches that happened this year so far. It doesn't get more exciting than this. So if you did not watch it, I mean, you literally have to go watch at least the last half an hour. Anish Giri, I think, came to play and was a little more prepared than he let on. Maybe he enjoyed the fact that everybody saw Wesley So as the favorite and he was the underdog. But Giri was fantastic. This was an awesome tweet. I love watching people throw our chess shows and commentary on flat screen displays. I don't know who LJ Nielsen is, but this is an awesome tweet. She says, yes, that's pineapple. I actually love Hawaiian pizza, ham and pineapple. I don't think it's bad. I know some people think you don't put fruit on pizza, but I mean, I also love a good. I'm not really a meat lovers fan because you get to the point where like a good meat lover's done right. If it's not just like, hey, let's throw all of our crap on a pizza. Like if a good meat lovers is done right, you can only have like 1 or 2 pieces, and then you're just like, oh my God, like what am I putting into my body? I can't have meat lovers pizza that much, right? So if a good meat lover's pizza's done right, it's like 1 piece and you're just like, oh, that was great, right? But there's other combinations of pizza where you can just eat an entire pie. And, I think I prefer like a pepperoni, no, even like a sausage, green pepper, mushroom, just a few things, Anyway, so phenomenal stuff there. I can't go through all the chess. I literally just did 4 hours of commentary looking at all of these games live. So I already kind of know. This was a hilarious GIF, though. Let's just see if it'll just play right here. This was awesome. Anish Giri just bobbing along in the zone. That was an awesome moment. So he was very entertaining. And Anish is a phenomenal interview. I have to say, I'm actually a little upset that he was knocked out. Not because I'm not super happy to see Wesley So move on. I mean, obviously, when you looked at the bracket at the top, that means we're going to have Wesley So versus Magnus Carlsen, most likely. I mean, seriously, are we going to break the internet on that day? Wesley So and Magnus Carlsen going at it. We are going to have so many people tuning in for that match. I'm so excited. So that's probably the marquee matchup even more than Anish Giri. But Giri this was Giri's match. He was up by a game when the clock expired. He lost that game and then lost the Chess 960 game. So anyway, that was just so much fun. I don't want to talk more about it because people will just they'll give me crap about just tooting our own event and stuff. But it was awesome. It doesn't matter if it was chess.com's event or anything. I mean, it was just an incredible chess match to be a part of. Sergey Karjakin's match was not quite so much. I mean, I gave Meyer some credit that he might have a chance in the challenger match, but in hindsight, he was just outmatched against somebody who plays just like him, but just better. And that's even harder, I think, than like if you have a crazy attacker going against a positional person and the attacker's worse, but maybe somehow they get a bunch of positions they're good at. That was just not the case, and he just absolutely got killed. The only other real news that we kind of missed in the absence, if we just add more stories here at the end of the chess.com homepage, is Dingley Ren. I mean, he pulled a massive upset. I guess I didn't miss that. Yeah, that's right. No, that happened at the last Chess Today. So I just wanted to say again what a fantastic story that is, and just an interesting way that round broke down. So congratulations to Lee Ren. But all right, no more messing around. Everyone is here for the edumacation. That's what they are. I just want to check and make sure that things are going through properly. Check on the stream. Say hi to everybody who's joining us. Hey there, DDuCA in Twitch, SGHAZ, Frostbite 1313, Pizza with Danny. That's right. Just, you know, thanks everybody for being here. Magesh 1983 asked me to cut the crap and get to the chess. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. Thanks there, buddy. This is not a bunch of crap. It was just awesome. It was so much fun. And you probably saw the whole match, so you're just bored with it. But Deep Fluke, Disclaimer 666, everybody who's here on Twitch, thanks for being here. Blue Galaxy 4, Chessmaster 1209, Liam Shez, Diamond Sparkle, a lot more usernames here. Actively rocking in the Chess TV chat. We even have Grandmaster Ben Feingold hanging out with us. What's up, Ben? Called it a mild upset? You're saying that Wesley winning was a mild upset? I don't think that's true. Oh, you're saying that okay, I see. I see the full context now. Pineapple Pizza is important in a chess show. Obviously, you know what chess shows are really about. This is where a lot of people part ways with me. I get it. Okay, but, you know, I'm standing by my guns about the pizza. But, okay, anyway, thanks for being here, everybody. For those who are here and like to take this opportunity to get some questions in, and we have a fun QA part of the show where you get kind of free chess coaching, free chess advice, go ahead and shoot. But let's dive into some chess games. And he's saying, my face is a mild upset. Thanks, Josh. Real glad you're real chipper today, buddy. Appreciate that. All right, let's do this thing. Let's dive into the games. All right, I've got a few games going, and I'm not happy. I'm not happy with some of the positions. I got to be totally honest. I'm not. Okay, well, this is a fun one. My opponent just blundered, right? And that is fun when you see a hanging of a queen, and you haven't. I mean, maybe I'm just going to ask everybody else. So, black to play and win. Your chance to see why I played the move d5. To deal with my opponent's threat on a8. Black is probably better here on no matter what I play, even playing a move like rook to b8, you know, and instead of d5, playing a move like rook to b8 and letting him take a7, still better. This situation is kind of tough for white, but okay, d5 was played, and my idea was that he cannot capture this pawn. He needed to play something. Actually, if he castles, I have bishop e5, and then he's even more trouble, right, because he can't play g3 anymore. So this is a problematic position for white, and usually when people are in problematic positions, the statistics tell us their chances of blundering are much higher. And so he took on d5, black to play and win, no more drum roll. I'm going to take on c3 with check, which removes the knight from protecting the queen, and my opponent will be losing this game momentarily. So that's nice. Nice to get a win every once in a while, right? There we go. We take on c3. Okay, so this one is also against the same opponent, and I also like where it's headed. I'm so excited about my potential attack on the dark squares here that I wonder if I would even consider taking with the knight. Okay, the knight would be a positional no-no and a no need to play. Not even a no-no, but a no need to play. When you have a French structure like this where, you know, you have just total domination of the dark squares, this was not a French that went well for black. It started by trying to play a winnower, which gives up the key dark square bishop, but then not doing it aggressively. You have to play things to go after the pawns on the c-file, whether that's queen c7 or queen a5. You have to play one of the main lines because you've given up a massive positional weakness on the king side that can lead to very dangerous problems. And so that's why a lot of people play the French and then they just develop naturally thinking nothing's changed. You can get in big trouble. And so I started just bringing pieces over to the king side. You guys were with me when I was kind of debating whether to play a4, bishop g5, but I'm happy with the direction I took just to kind of keep the flexibility open, because now I like that my bishop has come to a3. And certainly having the threat of coming this way is one of the things that kind of prevents him from castling, because he's just going to get checkmated. So anyway, so there's no need to take with the knight, but just to show the idea is that his knight may be deflected away, and that might allow me to get something like queen e7 check. The thing is that even if I get this, I'm not sure my position is any better here than it just is here. Right? I'm not even sure if forcing that check really, unless I have some sort of concrete mating attack that follows up, which I don't know. Do I? I mean, I can look. I mean, like rook b1 or something, but no, he's just there's nothing there. So I just, you know, so I'm just going to take back with the pawn and continue to have a very, very nice position. So okay, 2 good games, but I know we're going to get to some rough games where I'm not in the best shape. Okay, that's interesting. He allows me to play a4, which I don't think is ideal for him. I'm actually going to be just going straight forward. I was definitely expecting white to play a4 himself. And then I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted. I mean, I guess maybe he was thinking about things like knight there and d5 or something, but I wasn't sure how I was going to play this. I think my position's okay, but I wasn't sure, and I think it makes more sense to, I mean, a4 holds the b5 square. I think it makes more sense to prevent black from kicking the knight. I'm not even sure I'm going to go all the way with a3 or even get anything concrete on the diagonal, but I feel like the space advantage is an improvement for me. So I'm going to go for it. There you go, right there. I'm just going to do it, all right? All right. I'm just going to do it, all right? It's about where you're going, where you've been. My hero is me 10 years from now, Matthew McConaughey. Where you're going, where you been. Okay, this is also another. My games are going better than I thought, apparently, or at least these ones are. So here I'm just up a pawn, debating between just, you know, like natural moves on the A file, right? Make a move with the rook, and then double the rooks, and just play on the queen side. I mean, it just, right? Looks really good. I don't think that, I mean, I can take it, but is there any reason to really take it? I can take it and put the knight anywhere, and this is a really good square. Moves like f6 are out of the question. And certainly something like this would still just, I mean, this looks pretty adorable, right? Pretty adorable. So there's a lot of options when you have an extra pawn and a massive space advantage to go with it. We would take white structure even if I wasn't up a pawn. So, you know, you guys were following this game. You remember this one went wrong really as early as when he played c5 in the Verasov, which this position is actually really kind of irritating for black. A common little trick that happens in this line that is actually kind of tough for black. And, okay, he didn't mean he had to play c4, which is just a bogus idea. But I think from a like a, not necessarily strategic perspective, but psychological perspective, I don't think I should change the position significantly unless I'm either 1, afraid of like a coming plan of my opponent, or 2, confident that it drastically improves my own position. When you're better, you want to have the discipline to kind of let the position just keep going on its path, right? Let the boat sail, and don't do anything drastic unless, so like if I decide that playing something like rook here is going to run into, is he going to checkmate me with f5? You know, I don't think so. First of all, that just seems like it could probably just be just as bad as anything else. I don't think he's going to checkmate me with an attack or really achieve something by, you know, reinforcing the strength of this knight. So I'm not really worried about this. That's why, to me, I feel like rook a2 seems pretty straightforward, despite the fact that taking e4 and knight e5 makes sense. I just think from a, like, these are principles that in positions where you're comfortably winning always seem like blabber from a title player. Like, oh, basically both are good, but he's just justifying one approach saying don't change the position. But no, it's not true. Overall, in the long run, if you have that mindset of execute on the most straightforward path, that's the phrase I use, keep it simple, not simplify. People are better, and then they think, oh, now I just trade and I win. But yeah, if you're really winning, sometimes trades are good. But the truth is, just stay on the path. I think just stay on the path of where the position seems simple to play and make them do something that gets them back into the game. As long as I'm not neglecting some sort of really aggressive counterplay, which I'm not, I think that's what I'm going to go for. So I'm just going to play rook a2. The only question is the rook better on a3 to guard c3 from this pawn in coming tactics? I don't think so. I don't think it matters. So I'm just going to play rook a2. All right, this is the one that I totally screwed up. This is I'm down in this position now. So I don't know. I totally screwed this up. I mean, this position was going so well. Bishop to b6. I win the queen. And there's this potential he could get 3 pieces for the queen, but I don't think that should happen if I play it accurately. You know, one of the moves that I consider to be more accurate would have just been the move f6 right. Oops, sorry. Let's go to analysis mode. So, you know, the path started here badly for black when he played, you know, okay, this whole idea of giving up the bishop pair and opening the e-file, this just is like super dangerous. And certainly I didn't have to go for knight to d5 and go for this queen sack line. I mean, like bishop d5. It's a pretty phenomenal move. Look at that. I mean, it's a great move. It attacks the rook, and if he takes it, this knight is pretty awesome. If he moves it, I can save the I mean, I might do something even more aggressive, but I can save the bishop just by protecting it. So there's no real threats here. You know, I've got a super dominant squeeze on the center, a massive attack. So this game was just like in the bag. It was just headed the direction of, okay, I'm choosing between proper ways to execute on my advantage. And I went with knight d5 thinking that he would see c4. I didn't even really calculate. I was like, okay, c4 is not possible because of bishop b6 and then there's like mate threats and the knight's coming to c7. But he went for it and then sacrificed the queen. I don't think he saw it. I actually think it was just kind of a blunder and kind of went into it. But now is where the miscalculations and really just lazy play on my behalf started. First, it starts with drastically underestimating that when he gets this pawn on f4, his knights are not going to be touchable because of these tricks on the diagonal if I castle. I saw that an idea like f6 was possible, and this was a good intermezzo to throw in, because if I play f6, he can't take with the bishop. If he takes with the pawn, now we get the exact same positions like we did in the game, except he's just losing on the spot. Because if he's taking pieces, or I mean, I guess I could even go for this. I mean, you know, he's not getting a queen. I have a queen for 2 pieces, so this is probably fine. But I was wondering if I could even do something else and still be a much happier camper than I am currently in the live position. So I think f6 was a strong intermezzo. And why did that happen? Let's put me on the spot and actually figure out what's going on in this old noggin. We don't want to go too far, but let's figure out where I'm blundering. Because I just don't know why I did that. Just laziness. I mean, it's the danger of thinking you have many paths to win. And that there are too many paths to win. Because the truth is, in hindsight, there are some things about this position that if I'm not accurate could, you know, could be tricky, right? I mean, my king is kind of open, and you've got this dynamic of the king and queen lined up, which means you're kind of always worried about little tactics of the knights hopping in and some kind of fork. And I guess I just thought this position was going to play itself. As soon as I could get the rooks to the open files, this position is going to win itself because it's just too much. But but he has 3 pieces for the queen, considering that my bishop is trapped. And then I blundered with queen e4. He played d5, and I'm like, oh, well, duh, I can't even take his knight. Like, I was literally just playing, like, instant bullet chess. So now I'm like, okay, darn it. I have some problems. I played queen e5, still thinking I'm in decent shape, because I'm thinking, oh, he's going to take my bishop. I'll play f6. I was just analyzing lazy lines. And I'll go get his knight, and we'll get something similar to what I could have had another line. But no, he just plays the simple king of 8, of course, because now if I play f6, he just takes it. I still can't take his knight because bishop g5 wins the queen back, and my bishop is just completely trapped. So I'm just in trouble. I played rook e1, he played bishop f6. Obviously, I still can't take his knight, so I'm like, okay, this is getting irritating. And now I'm trying to find good moves, but he's gobbling up pawns. I'm a little surprised by knight takes h3. I feel like that was a little risky for him. I mean, to me, it seems like maybe guard the knight and try to get the king out castled. Try to get the king manually castled, so now you have a real chance of winning with 3 pieces for the queen. So knight takes h3 feels a little bit risky, but how can I take advantage of that? The most obvious thing to do to just eliminate counter chances for my opponent is to play the move king to b1. If I just get the king off of this diagonal, you know, let's say he takes it. He still can't play knight e3 because I set up this little trap where I win the knight. Now if he ever brings the knight to f4, I will gladly give up the rook for the pieces. And if he tries to run away, I might be able to force that, right? If I come and attack the knights, I might be able to force a scenario like this where okay, I mean, this has actually become quite the tough position. This is not going to be an easy game to win at all. I'm not even sure if am I even really better here with best play? I mean, he's got a rook and a bishop and a pawn for the queen. This is not going to be an easy game to win. I think I am better, and I think part of the principle of that, if we evaluate these unbalanced material positions, which is some principles I've given in the video series. If you're a premium member, check out my video series on playing unbalanced material positions. You know, with pawns on both sides of the board and pawn weaknesses on both sides of the board, often the queen really starts to flex her muscles over the pieces. Unless there's a pass pawn running or the rooks are somehow already doubled on the second rank, this is the kind of position where you see the queen really dominate, because I threatened this, and then in a single move, like let's say there was even a move he could guard it, you go there again, and now you're threatening pieces on all over the board, and it just becomes very difficult to deal with the queen in the open board. When there's pawns on both sides of the board and weaknesses on both sides of the board is where the queen really shines. And so, so I feel like I should just tuck my tail between my legs and just play king b1. As much as I'd like to do something like this right away, if he goes here, I can't even take everything because I lose my queen in the end. Duh. Which is the combination I've just been underestimating all game. So I feel like it would be a karmatic cleansing, right? I feel like I would be cleaning my bad karma of this position if I just play king to b1. If I just get the king to safety, get off the diagonal, say, all right, I know I screwed up. Clearly this is going to be much more of a tough fight than it should have been, but I'm just gonna play king to b1. Yes, you now have 3 pieces for the queen, but this isn't so simple to get your knights out of this little bind. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm doing it. Okay, this one's working out. Remember that little trap I set at the last chess today? Remember how I played knight h4 and I said, wait a second, look at this. You know how we can prove it? Because we have the saved analysis daily chess feature. Boom! Did you know you can save your analysis on daily chess, son? So I played knight h4, and if you remember, I was analyzing. If he takes it, I have this move queen h5, and I've got all kinds of threats on f7 and knight takes d6. Well, guess what happened in the meantime, everybody? Clearly, he doesn't watch the Chess Today show, because I played knight h4, and he took. And I took, and he took, and I played queen h5. And I'm not even sure he played it best, but I've got tactics all over the place. And in fact, after bishop d8, I was even considering, just like going for this. I was wondering who's better at the end of this sort of position where he gets the 2 pieces for the rook, but I've got 2 pawns for it, right? Yeah, I'm probably even better here, but this is the kind of minor piece battle I don't really want to take on. His bishops and knights can kind of work their way into light squares. That's where the minor pieces really thrive. So I didn't do that. Instead, I just took on d6. The only risk of that may have been if he had taken, right? If he takes with the queen, if there's some way that I get in trouble, this would be mate, though. So if he goes here and I take, I don't think there's any way I was getting in trouble, plus the e5 pawn was hanging. So yeah, I think that these tactics, and this idea is one that is kind of instructive for me, because I've played a lot of these little weird little closed Peart systems. I don't even know what they're called. And I feel like I need to become more familiar with the patterns that exist. Sometimes when you play an opening a whole bunch, like in a Sicilian, there's so many tactics. There's pawn structures that occur commonly in a position, and I'm big on teaching that. I talk a lot about, in my Pawn Structure 101 video series. Again, you can check out that. I talk a lot about repeating patterns in the pawn structures and the formations, and where you can quickly learn to recognize plans based on what your pawns are telling you if you learn how to listen. But tactics are the same way. I mean, they're not always like tactical patterns like, you know, Anastasia's mate or something. Just the common tactics that occur in middle games from a certain opening tend to repeat. Like, there's tactics in Najdorf Sicilians that are specific to Najdorf Sicilians or Grunfelds or whatever. And sometimes one of the issues with playing openings that you don't know that well is I'm not familiar with tactical sequence that works. So I either figure it out and learn via experience. So that's one reason a book can be useful, right? I know I run an online chess subscription website for a living, so I shouldn't be encouraging you to buy books instead of a premium membership. But no, I mean, I don't do that. I mean, seriously, the books, where books are very useful more than just like our opening explorer, is you don't have a coach, like you don't have somebody telling you. I mean, opening books, unfortunately, are sort of out of date the moment you buy them. The moment you buy an opening book, it's out of date because more games have been played. At least at a high level theory. But for lower levels, which is really like 2200, 2300, 2400 and below, I'm saying all those are lower levels compared to Super GMs. A book is really useful for explaining concepts, and you actually get to see repeating tactical ideas in an opening. And so I'm a big fan of opening books if you find a good author who's good at kind of, to me, putting the openings in that sort of framework, not just convincing you that he has the latest and greatest ECO knowledge, because again, that's a lie. The moment you buy an opening book that's just moves, it's out of date. And there are so many online tools that are just free. I mean, there are opening tools that are just awesome. But, and of course there's ChessBase, and there's all, you know, there's so many great things you would rather have on a computer to keep track of recent games. But opening ideas and tactical patterns are things that you do want to become aware of. And this is a trick here. This is kind of cool. I feel like I learned something. So now I'm just up a pawn. I mean, look at this. When was the last time I was just up a pawn against this line? Hashtag never, Scott. Hashtag no, Scott. By the way, one thing that's really fun is using things like that. I tweeted that. I told my 11-year-old, hashtag no, Scott. And he looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, that's right. You've never seen Austin Powers. He's like, I want to see it. I'm like, no, you're not seeing it. Hashtag winning from your dad. Dad's winning. Hashtag no, Scott. I love it. Anyway, there's nothing greater than abusing your kids with pop culture references they don't understand. One day you may have kids and you'll learn to abuse them in the same way I have, and you'll be like, Danny was right. Okay, bishop to b6 is on the radar, kicking the queen. I don't really want to trade off my light square bishops. I like my bishop, but do I want to play c4 to avoid that? That seems like a bad idea. Play c4 and sort of self-block my own bishop. Maybe actually not so bad, right? I can relocate it here, and now the bishops are lining up together on the queen-king side. I like it so much I'm just going to play it without any other sorts of calculations here to justify it. Just do it. Whoa! Daily chess game's done. I actually liked my positions and all, but that's because we didn't have the Mike Klein game come up. Obviously, I'm not doing well in that game. So anyway, that was fun. Let's go check in with the viewers here. We've had a lot more people come in, and thanks for being here. Thanks, BJH13, for being a subscriber on Twitch. We are going to start having a once-a-month subscribers only, if you're a Twitch subscriber, kind of cool show, whether that's a Bullet Brawl where we only play subscribers, or I don't know what it's going to be. But it's going to be fun, and really appreciate everybody showing some love over there on Twitch. So, thanks, BJH3. No human will be able to play even if the line doesn't. I don't know what you're talking about. Danny, can you recommend a good openings book then? But again, so a general openings book isn't fair because I can't recommend to talk about encyclopedia opening books to answer Revolver's questions. Like, you know, the moment you buy, I've got a massive bookshelf over here. I wish I could show you guys. You know, the moment you buy books like this, right? You get like a Nun's chess opening book or an ECO or something. These days I use them when I want to have a standing desk. I mean, seriously, that's where I'm at. But okay, then if you get a book like this, here we go. If you get a book like this, okay. So these are ones I actually bought. So if you get a book like an Everyman Chess book, this is by Bogdan Lalic on the Marshall attack, you know, or like, okay, this none always tends to ride the line of encyclopedia stuff. I mean, this is very, very, just a lot of like, hey, I'm going to make some money because people buy opening books. Sorry, John Nunn, but it's true. People, by the way, more people buy opening books than any other books. And it's like one of the biggest like jokes in the chess world. Okay, it's just ridiculous because like it's just it's not. The analysis here is no. Okay, what's useful about it is again when you get summaries. So I'm all about opening books that teach ideas. And the thing I like about these Everyman chess books is this. Hold on, let me show you. So check this out. So they start out with like much more text to kind of describe what's going on the line, what's the context of what we're going to learn, and then at the end of the every game, it's broken down in practical games format, which I think is more instructive for learning the patterns. And then at the end of every chapter, they have a summary. Can you see the summary? Right here. So they have a summary, and they kind of review some of the ideas, and they talk about the lines you learn in like an ECO type format. So I have a book by Agard I have a book by Agard on the Panopodvinic and the Caro-Kann. I also have one on the Scotch. So there are books that have taught me a lot about openings that are much more specific to like Cyrus Lochtawala's book on the London system. That's a phenomenal book. Seriously, I'm gonna give Cyrus some love here. Everybody who wants to play the London, and by the way, Wesley So was playing the London yesterday, right? Go buy Cyrus's book. Cyrus Lochtawala's book on the London system. Cyrus does a phenomenal job of giving patterns and tactical ideas that repeat themselves, not just it's not just an ECO spit out. Okay? So, that's really my damnation / assessment of opening books. It's a big, if you're looking at books that are even, I don't care how new it is or the year it is, if it's an ECO spit out and you don't connect with the author, you don't find that it's talking to your level, whether you're a 1200 or a 2200, the rules should apply. If you don't find you're engaging with the author, you do a quick scan of it, and you feel okay, I could get some summaries of some critical positions and ideas here, then you shouldn't buy the opening book. All of that information is available and more up-to-date online, and most of the time for free. And so, where people pay for services like ChessBase and stuff, it's the organization of the games and the database functionality and features, and that's a lot of what our Opening Explorer does. So, but the information itself is just available. It's just hard to kind of get it. I guess that is one good reason for openings books, I guess. I mean, they do kind of bring it all together, so it saves you time. Okay, so I guess buying an opening book could save you time. All right, fine. Sorry, openings book writers, I just gave you one. There you go. Yasser Serouan's books are phenomenal, from Crane 333. Absolutely they are. Those are the, every chess move explained kind of style, right? Like Winning Chess Brilliancies, Winning Chess whatever. Yasser's books are great. People seem to be liking this chess book discussion. Chess books on historical stuff are also good too. Speaking of historical, everyone make sure, have you guys all checked out my my podcast? Go check out my podcast. This week, Motzi asks me about Bobby Fischer. Let me know if I actually did a decent job explaining things. I'm sure there's some Bobby Fischer historians who know more about his legacy than me if you get to that. So check out my Bobby Fischer rant in the podcast this week and see if I did a good job kind of summarizing for someone who knows nothing about chess, kind of the legend, the myth, the man that is Bobby Fischer. So go to blunders.fm. That's my podcast. Shameless plug, but I have the right to do it. It's my show. So okay, cool. So, and speaking of shows, we've done it. We've made the daily chess moves. We've gone over content. The last thing we really need to do to bring this show to a close, trying to keep these things under 45 minutes, is to solve the daily puzzle. Weit to play, yeah? Yeah, we have the instant one, yeah, we have the smothered mate, and we put the queen on the b8 square, and then we bring the knight in, and we trap the king, yeah, we trap him on the corner square, yeah, we bring it. I was so excited I couldn't even think about what I was saying, yeah. We gave the king a really, really nice time there, yeah, we bring the mating net. Yeah, so anyway, why did I see that so fast? What's the educational aspect of this daily puzzle? I don't know. You just gotta know, when you got pieces toward the king, checks, captures, tempo moves, people. Checks, captures, tempo moves. And of course, you look at it, you consider bishop and queen takes, and you just know the battery there. This is a Venus flytrap. That's where mating net pattern recognition is just instantaneous. Yeah, you do this one, and it makes you smarter. Chess makes the kids smarter. Yeah, so you should have your kids playing the chess ones, the chess games. Yeah, they are good for the kids. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, have the kids play the chess, and we bring the chess today's show to close, I believe, this one. Yeah, okay, yeah, we bring it to a close by going and checking out the Chess TV schedule. Yeah, let's do this one. Let's check out the schedule for the rest of the day. We have Chess Today with Danny Rensch, the Material Odds Challenge with Amon Hamilton. Say what? Amon Hamilton. I mean, why is Amon so sexy, right? I mean, because he educates you, but he doesn't bore you. He motivates you, but he doesn't like, you know, he's not abrasive when he pushes you. He inspires you, but he doesn't like puke me raw, whatever, right? He's handsome, but he's not smoldering. Amon Hamilton. That should go on a bumper sticker somewhere, right? Handsome, not smoldering. Educational, not boring. Inappropriate, some of the things the chess bros do, but not offensive. He's inappropriate, not offensive, right? I mean, so these are the things that make Amon Hamilton Amon Hamilton. And I can only aspire to be half as good as Amon Hamilton someday. So, all right, everybody, peace out. Love and happiness to you. Enjoy your Friday, TGIF. If you live in the States, enjoy your holiday weekend. Regardless of anybody's political stances, beliefs, or anything, it's always good to remember those who you have lost, no matter where you're from, right? Memorial weekend in America, at least, and we kind of remember that. Anyway, so good stuff. Have a fun holiday weekend. Be safe. I will actually not be back. This show and Bullet Brawl, which is on today at 3 o'clock after Amon Hamilton, I'm going to be gone for a couple of weeks. I'm going to be here, but I got a lot going on. I'm going to be in and out of the office, doing a little bit of traveling with the wife and kids now that school is over, and kind of balancing work. So I will not have a regular Chess TV show. The Chess Today show will be taking a bit of a hiatus, about a 10-day hiatus. Only like 6 or 7 business days, though, because I haven't been doing it on the weekends. So forgive me for that. Go have some fun anyway. Enjoy life, and be good to each other. See you, everybody.